Thanks for joining us today on the What Podcast, helping you to support local, use local and buy local. Letting you know what's happening, what's on and what's on offer in the local area. The What Podcast.
Welcome to the What Podcast. My name is Liam Stone and the What Podcast is brought to you by whatoffers.co.uk, the local podcast dedicated to supporting local. So support local, use local and buy local wherever you are. Today's show is sponsored by the Little Shop of Heroes, a local store in Dunfermline, based down just past the bottom of the high street. You can find the Little Shop of Heroes and find all your comic books and manga and picture books and fictional books and whatever you can imagine. Not just for kids, but for adults as well. So get yourself down to the Little Shop of Heroes and find all your favourite releases where you can buy them there, helping to support yet another local business. Now, this week we were supposed to have a few interviews on, as I announced last week. Unfortunately, there was a bad bit of luck for a few people last week, and we were supposed to actually have Albie in, who is the owner of the Little Shop of Heroes, to talk about his business and what he's been doing. And unfortunately, Albie had taken a bit ill last week, so we wish you a speedy recovery, Albie. We hope you get well soon, and we look forward to getting you in the podcast when you are fit to do so. We were also supposed to have Reese in from R&B Hair and Beauty. Unfortunately, he was involved in a car incident, so he had to postpone his podcast interview as well, and he'll be coming in later this week. But hope you're well, Reese, and hope obviously your car's all fixed and back on the road again. And we were also supposed to have the Bottle Genies in. Scott for the Bottle Genies was going to be coming in to talk about his business and what he's been doing. And I know Scott had been working hard on the Bottle Genies, as he has been done for a long time. And we had been obviously trying to work with him as well to help him get some extra support. And we were, he was even organising new leaflet areas to try and obviously drum up some extra business. Unfortunately, something happened with Scott and the Bottle Genies, and it was a bit of a shock. He had to announce that they were closing the business and no longer trading. So that was a real shock, and quite sad, to be frank. It's something that it does, stick in your throat a little bit, because you know that, when you know a business, and Scott, obviously the Bottle Genies have been going for quite a few years now, and they obviously started doing something that they were clearly passionate about. They obviously wanted to do something that was, good for the environment and help provide a service such as the glass collection and recycling service, helping people to recycle the glass bottles and jars and things like that. And I know they had quite a lot of customers that valued their service as well. But clearly, for whatever reason, that he's decided he had to close his doors. Clearly, there just wasn't enough support, and yet again we lose another local business. Now, I know Scott's worked hard, talking to other companies that can take over his customers and look after them and make sure they're still getting the same service that they enjoy to get every 4 weeks. So I hope that all goes well, and I wish Scott the best in whatever he does, and I hope the staff there can find themselves suitable employment elsewhere. But it is unfortunate, and that is the reality that we face in this day and age, is that we lose businesses so often, and quite often it's local businesses that try so hard for so long. Everything costs a lot of money these days. The bills, the repairs, the wages, and people, we just accept or expect even that companies will employ people, and we always want more hours, we always want a higher rate of pay, but at the end of the day, that rate of pay has to come from somewhere, and that comes from people like you and me supporting local businesses that we like, and making sure that we are helping to support that, because it's the money that we spend with these companies that cover these costs. I know this. I'm not trying to teach you how to suck eggs, but the reality is we need to support local businesses wherever we can, and that's the whole point of our support local message: support local, use local, buy local. It's about supporting local businesses. We see them disappearing all the time. For whatever reason, businesses disappear, and I'm not saying that you're going to use every single business. We can't all support every business. We're not made of money. But the whole idea behind support local, use local, buy local as a campaign is just to really try and get people to think about the message first and foremost, that when you are thinking about buying something, when you do need to get a service, when you are thinking about getting something done, then just think local first. Have a look, see what you can find. You can find loads of great local businesses on whatoffers.co.uk. I'm not saying that every local business is there, but more and more are coming on a daily basis. So you can obviously add your business there for free, and you can find local businesses, find all their offers, things like that, and you can help support them. And it's that support that's going to keep our local businesses in business, because unfortunately running a business does cost a lot of money, especially a local business. And unfortunately, we don't all have big profit margins like companies like Shell and Centrica and things like that. They're reporting record profits, 6.9 billion or whatever it is. And the reality is that sort of volume is only something in the imagination for a small local business owner. Many small local businesses barely cover their costs, and sometimes don't even do that. But the reality is that it's these big businesses, it's something that's a bugbear of mine. Gets my goat every time. When you hear about these profits, and that's what gets me. We're on the same boat. We're all paying gas, electric, fuel. It's all through the roof. You're paying 2-3 times as much as what you did 6 months ago for your gas or your electric, or the prices of petrol and diesel through the roof as well. And what I don't understand is that these products cost no more money to make than what they did a year ago. These companies didn't suddenly have to employ 10,000 more people because they needed to do anything specific. They're doing the same thing that they did at the same cost that they did a year ago, but we are paying 2 to 3 times as much. The reality is that £6.9 billion or dollars of profit is, probably the fact that people are actually paying more for the product, but they're buying less of it. But the reality is the profit margins are through the roof. But it's costing him nothing more. So why is it costing us more money? So the reality is if we can share that wealth with some of the smaller businesses, then maybe people will start to pay more attention. These small local businesses, that obviously contribute to so much into the communities via employment, via obviously what they give back, and when a local business wants to get involved with something in the community, they're doing it in their community. They're no, doing some project that nobody's got any interest in. It keeps it local. So try and save some money off your gas and electric bill. Switch off the lights a bit. The fans will be able to go soon. I know it's been warm. It's been warm here. It's been warm everywhere. And we're going to be able to switch off our fans soon, and suddenly we'll be able to save some money on the electric bills. And then we'll have to revert it to the gas bills because we're going to have to put our heating on soon as well. But, it's, these companies are just making so much money, and the local businesses are really struggling. So, we need to support our local businesses. We need to keep them afloat. We need to obviously help them get on the right track. Things are obviously getting back to normal soon, and hopefully we can help support our local businesses. But that's why we have the system that we have. We built a system where you can leave reviews about local businesses, because let's face it, we know, as I say, you're not going to use every local business. Know every local business you're going to want to use. We know a lot of people with the best intentions start up a local business, whether it be a product they're providing or whatever it is that they do. They might not have the same buying power as big companies, and we know what big companies are like. We hear it all the time. Stories like your milk. You probably seen it before in the news. The supermarket chains, they dictate the price that the dairies have to sell them the milk at, so that they can sell it at the price that they want to sell it. And the problem is it's the local business that's suffering because, they're having to effectively just do what they're told. Otherwise, they're not going to have a business. But the reality is, if you go to the dairies to buy your milk directly for the dairies, or whether it's a dairy company that does milk deliveries, then you'll find it's always more expensive. Now, I didn't mind that. I didn't mind paying a bit extra because that's the price that it should be. But the reality is the supermarkets are driving businesses to the point of extinction because they're dictating what it is that they should be selling it to them for, so that they can put their markup on it and make enough money to justify them even having that there in the first place. So, the reality is that some local businesses just can't compete because they don't have that buying power. So it makes it hard for them to provide the product that you might be able to find in a national chain or a national supermarket or something like that. And therefore, obviously, it's harder for you to justify that, okay, I can buy this product for this national brand at this price, but it's going to cost me 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever the price is, more by buying it local. So we understand that there is that dilemma sometimes, and it's not always possible for these small local businesses to compete at that level when providing a product. Or a service, and there's many big companies competing on services as well now, and it's difficult, so we know you're not going to support every local business. It's just not possible. And some of these local businesses have maybe just not got the right product or the right model, or maybe they need to increase their buying power to obviously be able to compete. Then there's the other local businesses that you might never want to use, and you want to know not to use them as well. And there's obviously the businesses that you do want to use. A bit like when you are at work or you're at the pub and you say to your mate, oh, by the way, I'm looking to get this done. Do you know anybody decent? We all use that. That's the terminology, word of mouth, and that is what our platform does. It gives the ability for you to use that word of mouth on a grander scale, so that you're not just helping a local business be supported by your mates down at the pub or at work. You're actually able to voice your opinion clearly by leaving a valid, genuine review, and you can also say whether you would recommend that business. And that is what our platform does. It's a word-of-mouth platform. So, we want you to support your local businesses however you can. And if you can't buy off them, but you've used a business before, or you know the business and you want to leave a review about the business and tell other people about the business, and that is the reality of the platform as well, is that there's so many businesses on your doorstep, you've probably never heard it. There's thousands of businesses in Dunfermline, and yet you probably only name a handful. They might be tucked away in an industrial estate, or you might not get a chance to go up to the high street, or you might not have been in a place where they exist and you don't even know they're there. So, have a look on what offers. You can see loads of great businesses and you can leave reviews, and if you do see a business that you like and you think that we're getting something done, then obviously use them. Send them a message, contact them, see what offers they've got on, things like that. But, we need to support our local businesses as much as we possibly can, and, stop giving away all our money to the big chains, and start keeping it local. Anyway, that's a bit of my rant over for the day. On a bit of a lighter note, I was watching my Anticipation the other day there, on the 14th. I don't know if you'd seen, but there was, it was in the news in a few places, but apparently somebody had travelled back in time to take to Facebook to announce that they had travelled back for the year 2090, I think it was. So they travelled back 68 years in the past, or, from the future, to tell us that there was going to be a massive storm, big hurricane hitting South Carolina on the 14th of August. There was going to be wind speeds up to 250 miles an hour. It was going to be called the first one because it was going to be a storm like we'd never seen before. It was going to cause billions of dollars worth of damage and kill thousands of people. And of course, many people were obviously looking at them like, okay, there's another nut job. Might have been somebody looking for a bit of attention, or maybe it was just somebody looking to have a bit of fun. Whatever it was, I think we were all looking with anticipation for those of us that seen that news, thinking, okay, right, that's a laugh, but we'll see if it happens. If it does happen, we'll think, wow, time travel actually does exist. Imagine what the world would have been like then if it did happen. I think, some people would have been more interested in the fact that time travel might exist than the fact that there was a natural disaster storm just hit South Carolina. Clearly didn't happen. So I'm sure the people of South Carolina are extremely happy, and I'm sure the people that are fanatics for time travel are maybe not so happy. But who's to say it's real? Who's to say it's not real? Who knows? Let's say it is real. Let's say I am for the future. I've come back for the future to tell you now what the future holds. And the future holds that if we keep supporting these big businesses and keep them in power, then in the years to come, the world is going to be run by the big corporations. And you're going to be paying 10 times as much for your gas and your electric and your fuel. And the supermarkets will dictate exactly what you buy, when you buy, where you buy it, because there'll no be any local businesses left. The alternative is we can change our direction now. We can support our local businesses. We can keep local people in local jobs, and these local businesses can thrive. And over the years to come, these local businesses, instead of just contributing 55% of the employment in the UK, will start to contribute 80% of the employment in the UK. And then the local governments and national governments will soon realise that the big businesses that they're supporting and giving all the breaks to will fall out of favour with them and realise that they need to start supporting the local guy a bit more. And maybe the local guy will get a wee bit of a break on these taxes. I'd like to know whether Shell's going to pay the right taxes on that $6.9 billion of profit. Do you think they'll have to do that, or I don't think? I don't know. That's my opinion. One thing I'm sure of, if it was you or me that had made that much profit, we wouldn't get any breaks. That's for sure. But maybe soon the local guy will get a break when people start supporting local businesses and we start thriving. So support your local businesses wherever you are. For now, thank you very much for watching or listening wherever you are. My name's Liam Stone, and this is the What Podcast. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today. Remember, whatever you need, head over to whatoffers.co.uk or what.live to see more of our podcasts, and join us again to see what's up next.